Yo, mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 young GG. Mic check. This one's dedicated to the Zen Zoo. Hold on, man. My voice is way too deep. Take some bass out of that. There we go. Sometimes I go full radio voice on him. Full radio voice. Shout out Zensu. He's in Dubai. He's got no vape on him. He said he's chilling X1 for us. So we got one person in the crowd chilling X1. It's the party boy. Hey, who sent over that party boy? Why the hell? Why are they so excited about some bullshit? And it's just like Zensu, like, it's not the bullshit. It's X1. It is the next evolution of generational wealth. I don't know. Hold on, guys. Let's get into it. Fuck. What's up, y'all? What up, world? This your boy, Crypto Bruh, a.k.a. More World Peace to DJ / producer. Today is April 28th. Monday. And yeah, I'm back again with another video. I don't know if this video is moving. Like, let me know if it's stuttering. I'm trying to like figure out some settings. I want it to be bigger. But I don't have a GPU on this laptop, so I don't know how big of a ratio I can go. So I'm redlining. You know what I'm saying? The last two streams I've been redlining. So I think this one is gonna be all right. But I bet the audio. Yeah, I can see the audio is still a little out of sync. Audio. Let's see if I can try to make it a little better. No, that's too late. Oh, that's too late. All right, we'll do 2. We'll see, man. Hey, you're not here for my face, bro. You're here for the information. You're here for the information anyways. All right. But yeah, I'm slowly trying to make it hopefully a little bit bigger. I noticed some people are really watching this shit on their television, and yeah, I don't want it to like, you know, I want it to come to your television set pretty neat, pretty nice, you know. But yeah, man, today is April 28th. It's the end of the month. I'm over here trying to get my setup to look maybe better. We'll see. And yeah, the markets are trending how markets are trending. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Shout out Zensu doing the work, boots on the ground, X1 chain. We got a Bitcoin right now on a pullback. It's at 93, you know, Ethereum 1700. Yeah, now Solana, of course, right when I go all in on Solana, it goes, it's time to discount. Crypto Bruh has gone all in. He has put all of his chips into the Sol. So rug him. I mean, that's just the way it is. But honestly, I think the market is still pretty positive. Again, I said like 92 could be a top for Bitcoin, because there's still a lot of turmoil in the world. Like, the world is just, I heard today that Pakistan was going to invade India. I'm like, man, y'all the same people. Over some water? Like, god damn, the world's getting crazy. Over here gonna invade the country over some water. But I mean, it makes sense, you know. Water is important, and if humans can't come to an agreement about the water, send in the troops, right? So I'm still looking at Bitcoin, and I'm still looking at how do you say, like this move or whatever. Some people want to see it go to 100K. I think we got pretty close over the weekend at 95. Honestly, when it was at 95, I was like, yeah, they're about to prove me wrong again. Here we go. And instead it dumped going into today. Because again, it's bullish. So many people are bullish on Bitcoin. It's too easy to dump on the noobs. So yeah, I don't follow Bitcoin again. I don't follow actually any market based on price. I'm 100% cypherpunk in this bitch. I care about gas. And Bitcoin is a gas coin. You need Bitcoins to send Bitcoins. So yeah, you can be like, oh, I've got a Bitcoin for 93,000. Yay, 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 right? But at the end of the day, your Bitcoin is just a fucking, it's nothing. It doesn't mean anything, right? It only means something if someone is transacting on chain. So that is where the value is. That is what Satoshi actually brought to the community. And that is what is, what is being priced in my opinion, the technology, because it's public. You can have a private version of the Bitcoin, and that's like an XRP, right? But you can see XRP obviously is a dupe. It is not like a Bitcoin, right? They're still $2, bro. Why doesn't anybody value the XRP network at $93,000? Right? Some would say, oh, it's because they got hella coins and blah, blah, blah. But that's just kind of what proves my point that like anybody can make their own Bitcoin. We rally behind Bitcoin because it's the original. It's Satoshi's vision, all that good shit you like about, sovereignty, owning everything that you have and all that good old crypto bullshit that everybody likes to spiel out. Again, that's why Bitcoin is Bitcoin. And I agree. It will continue to be a Bitcoin because we're still a new market, right? Bitcoin's only 15 years old, doesn't even have the ability to get a driver's license yet. So let's keep planning for college. Where is Bitcoin in 3 more years? 2 more years, that's kind of where I'm at with this whole like crypto thing. And again, yeah, Bitcoin wins. Everything else is trying to do the Bitcoin effect in their community level, right? Because now again, fragmented. When Bitcoin launched, it was as small as internet. It's a few hundred people. They brought Bitcoin to life, right? The story goes, GPU mining messed up the algorithm. That's what the story really is. Even Satoshi himself left the fucking Bitcoin shit when everything started to get like that. I don't know. I'm a conspiracy theory on the whole Satoshi thing. So, oh man, I need to move this thing out of my way. So I'm a weirdo. I think again, Satoshi was an economist, and he strategized the release of Bitcoin after he figured out how to make the monopoly on SHA-256. That's my Satoshi. He made a monopoly on it, dude. All Satoshi did was say, "Oh, Hal Finney, you did this Intel thing incorrect." That's kind of how I picture them working together. He's like, "Yo, you did this Intel thing incorrect, bro. Nobody can buy this Intel chip. Only you have access to it because you work in cybersecurity." Right? And then that's when Hal Finney basically relays back to Satoshi like, yeah, maybe you got a point. Maybe you could take what I've thought of, which is like, I think it was like proof. He thought of like one of the first proofs, or like the way to make the relay system of the proof. And it all was based on having this specific Intel chip. And then he made, RWPAL or RPAL. Yeah, so in my opinion, yeah, Finney is the computer scientist of the Bitcoin. And so was like Wei Dai and Nick, whatever the fuck. Everybody else, Adam Back, he's in the conversation too. Like, you go down the Bitcoin rabbit hole, go and learn. I've been in here for too long. But that's why, again, to me, it sounds more like a monopoly. Like people were trying to put a monopoly on this technology and they just kept pivoting until they found something that worked, right? Like in 1997, you have the explosion of emails and the basically the framework of what a Bitcoin is. Like how you build a community, how you get those communities to turn their computers on, and how you get those communities to run one solid protocol. Right? That's decentralized email. That's why Adam Back was like, oh my God, you know, maybe I monopolized the wrong thing. I didn't think people wanted to send value to each other. I just, you know, value was an email. It wasn't a Bitcoin. So we're back here at this conversation. I keep trying to remind everybody, layer 1 is the only thing we're talking about. There's nothing else. Everything else is meme coin, and it's just for fun. You buy it, you dump it. Maybe, you know, something comes out is a little different, you know, and meme culture is changing too. So there's a lot of good shit going on right now, but the gap is apparent, and I'm still 100% betting on Solana. I think that's the next one up. They're the only competition for Ethereum. Everybody else is going to try to kill Solana. And that's actually a flag. That's a good flag for Solana, because Solana is seen as a threat. So everyone thinks that that's the bar. Like, if they can do anything better than Solana, now they're in the Ethereum conversation, right? Which is like, oh, no, you're not, because you got to maintain better than Solana, and that's 5 years running. Actually, wait, yeah, Solana is 7 years old, excuse me. It came out in 2018. So, yeah, 7 years, and it's still very young too, like in our industry. That's why people aren't gravitating to Solana yet, still, because it's it's a pro crypto move, or pro user crypto move. All the pro users are here already, and anybody who's being onboarded by a pro user. That's why you'll hear people talk about Solana, because they know a guy. If you really think about it, like, everybody that talks about Solana, they know a guy. Now with Ethereum, everybody can tell you XYZ 1 2 3 everything about it. Same with like Bitcoin and XRP, and that's kind of why, again, I think those narratives are dead. Like, if someone can rattle off every principle and benefit of a token in 30 minutes to you, that project is dead. Because it's like, yo, that shit ain't quantum. You know, Bitcoin and Ethereum only become more quantum because people have a lot of stake in them. So then a lot of stake is the topic at that quantum like conjunction. And I have no stake in XRP, and I question people who have a lot of stake in XRP. And then the same thing goes for BNB. Like, I'm like, yo, why do you have so much stake in BNB? No, it's like, you sell BNB to me. Right? And then you get to Solana, and you can see again, you go down to the technology, and it just boop, 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 pops right back up to the top there. You're looking like, yeah, this thing is out of place. And the XRP only being $2 makes it very out of place. Cryptos are expensive. What the fuck is this? $2? What is this thing stuck in 2018 or something? Same with like Cardano and Tron. But see, that's why I'm like, yo, I low-key hate the old world in crypto, because it keeps us in this mentality that cryptos are worth cents on the dollar. But it's the technology, bro. Like, yeah, that technology is worth cents. It gets we get back to the conversation of like the early 2000s and like text messages. Like, when cell phone companies were trying to onboard users, they use like the text messages as like a way to get people in. And that's why eventually we got to the point where you get text for free after 9, because there's there's more bandwidth to be used, you know? Like, they need the businessman to be getting their text messages, so they charging the common man some extra dollars to be on the network, right? Because the businessman is who matters, right? But things flip-flopped. In my opinion, cell phone companies flip-flopped when the iPhone was introduced, because then it really shifted everybody into the pro user aspect. When I was using like cell phones in the beginning of my like teenage years, I always wanted the one that could get online. I like sidekicks and shit like that, Blackberries, and you know, the full keyboards. That was kind of like my like nerdiness, right? And eventually the game caught up, where now everybody has a computer in their hand, and now the cell phone companies have conformed to the devices, right? It's totally reversed now. where the devices used to want to impress cell phone companies, but now cell phone companies have, again, gone into what is the device? That's our main cash grab. We got to sell that shit. And now we're seeing the gap, right? Who went for infrastructure like a Verizon, and who just went for the cash grab like a T-Mobile. So that's kind of why, like, I hate the old world essentially, because it's just a cash grab. It's just another piece of the thing there. It's not really innovative. It's not the future, right? That's why, Solana is telling you it's the future with the whole cell phone. Where's this shit at? Is this Saga phone? They had a Kavana a Solana convention this past week, and they had the Saga phone on display. I don't know why all these are showing like old. I need to maybe stop calling it Saga. I guess the new one is called the Seeker. So number one must have been Saga. Oh, what's up, y'all? I haven't even said what's up to the chat. I just started going. What up, enthusiasts? T-Law Fitness. We got Dank in the house. Frosty and Zen. What's up? Arnett in this bitch. Rolando in here. What's up, Josh? Bro, XRP is borderline not even real crypto. Bitcoin's not even legal yet. Now, both of those statements are real. XRP is not real crypto. I mean, they have nodes though. So what is real crypto? What is the culture? Like, I think what we're doing on burnzen.com is more culture driven than anything you're gonna find in crypto, right? But we're going head to head with these, like, again, with like just this big idea that is easy to comprehend. Right? I don't know what you call this game. Life in the crypto industry. when you pull back the layers, because some people are gonna fly in head first XRP, and then they're gonna meet me, and then I'm gonna tell you, yeah, XRP is lame. Like, that's like sporting, Polo Assistant instead of wearing Ralph Lauren. That's like wearing Coach instead of wearing Chanel type shit. For real, because you'll see a lot of it. But it doesn't mean that it's popular. Or how do you say it? Doesn't mean that it's like the efficient rail, right? Efficiency is the key. And that's why you're going to see the highest development happening on Solana. And you see Vitalik has changed his narrative, right? If you've been following the stories, Vitalik has changed his narrative as well. He's basically given Solana the red carpet. But yeah, the Seeker, this past weekend, they started to preview and demo it. I mean, this is just version 1, or this is actually 0.1, I would say. This, or maybe 0.5. Maybe we're getting closer and closer. You get 4 or 5 more blockchain phones, and then you just got to get, if someone would say, probably you need to get Apple involved. But I would think Apple doesn't really matter in this talk. Like, they're not. Apple has no plans probably to get into blockchain. There's so much liability. Like, I bet they wish they never got into stores. If Steve Jobs is alive, he'd be able to explain the store. But I bet right now, they hella hate they have stores, because that's such a liability, bro. Like, when you start closing stores, everybody knows you're down bad. I saw that Jack in the Box is closing some Jack in the Boxes. You don't know what Jack in the Box is? It's a fast food restaurant in California, or the west side of America. Bless you. Sneezy. But yeah, Jack in the Box is closing like hella locations because people just don't eat fast food like that no more. And it's a hella liability to have all them locations. Cut them. Good them. Oh shit, I forgot I bought a Seeker. Lols. That's tight, bro. Yeah, I got the pre-order on this thing too. It's not bad. I hope that they don't make you pay more money though. Then I'm gonna be hurt. It's like, damn, I already put up 5, and then they're like, oh, the only way to get it is to put up 1,000 more. Because that would be some new shit. What's funny about this is how, like, it's because it says pre-order, right? So I'm a little nervous that they're gonna hit me with some dumb shit or something. Like, something stupid's gonna have to happen. This is too good to be true. But for 500 crypto dollars, you can get yourself a pre-ordered Seeker. And yeah, it comes with preloaded crypto. So I mean, like, if you're here now, like, this is actually the future. Like, this thing is coming with preloaded crypto, a crypto wallet that you can start using as like a physical wallet. Yeah, it's connected to the phone, which is kind of stupid, but then at the same time, this can be considered like the ultimate hot wallet, right? If you use the Seeker as your main, like, let's say this is everything in your life, okay, you're tripping. Like, put some crypto in places, you know, be smart about it, split up your wallets. You don't need just one singular wallet. But yeah, for the ideology of just quick on the go security, this is epic. And you know, all kinds of possibilities. Lounges, airport lounges, that's what we need. Secret phone, crypto Web3 phone lounges at the airport. That sounds epic. Only if you have a specific like, because this is, you know, the seed vault is what the tech will be. So like, if I'm deving or if I'm making product in phone world, that's kind of where I'm perceiving we're headed. It's the tech is going to go into the vault, or this thing where your password or your private key is. And the relay system between that's like where people will probably try to keep attacking your phone or whatever this thing is. Many different ways to do it. So yeah, if you get it, it's just for fun. This, you know, don't believe the marketing. I think everybody is going to market a blockchain phone as like the all-in-one everything, you know? Like, hella people are going to be losing their phone and having to figure out what happened. It's going to get pretty nuts, man. Get your movies ready. Get your movies ready. In which of the chains first XEN will have a price impact is on its. Oh, okay. What up, Arc? I hear you. I hear your question. Or I see it. You're asking which chain is going to have the biggest impact on price when it comes to, I'm assuming, some sort of like move in X1 excitement or something. I mean, XEN is XEN, you know, it's finished. Again, I think XEN is like the all-in-one OS for crypto right now. All these cryptocurrencies lack one thing, and it's internal community, because they all got to a big place where now it's political warfare at the top. When XEN gets to this like big area of political warfare, I guess, I mean, I don't know if it'll ever get there. The piece might be baked in, because you have things like XEN Burner, which basically like bring peace to the chain, is how I'm thinking of it now. Like 65 trillion XEN burned in 7 days or 8 days. Like, that's peace to the chain. Now people can just mint CBXEN and know, hey, you know, the thing is gonna be, you know, deflationary. And this is all because, again, people are gonna burn XEN for X1. You might not be burning XEN for X1, but somebody is. And that's why, yo, everything's getting really interesting on CBXEN. Watching how people are moving, watching all of a sudden big stakes start swinging. It's getting really interesting. There's not that many whales. I think of you as a whale if you have more than 1 trillion. Because now that we're burning, right, 65 trillion is gone, and most of it, this is from the minting class. So this is what's fucked for, okay, yeah. See, I can go further into the XEN thing, but we'll talk about that in a second. We'll talk about the XEN thing in a second. Cause yeah, bro, I'm just chilling, and I think Solana's Seeker phone is gonna change the game. And I think a lot of people are sleeping on this topic of how, again, getting the device in people's hand, right, is always the thing. Getting the monopoly starts when you can figure out how to scale to the consumer. Also, all Satoshi did, he just figured out how to scale SHA-256. So we know how to do that part. The next part, again, in crypto is mass adoption. That's going to happen on a layer 1. So we're still trying to figure out which layer 1 is actually going to have a ton of people come in, and then their minds will kind of get hooked on crypto, and then they're going to be the next render of like the cyberpunks of the next 30 years, right? That's how I think of Bitcoin and why this ride has been so experimental. Like every piece of Bitcoin is an experiment. Even right now, sub 100K is an experiment. Can they get it? Can they rally it? And I've heard this experiment by a lot of different economists, because they're all saying that somebody has to take it beyond 100,000. They've done their job. It's in the people's hands now. That's kind of crazy to think about. Like, Bitcoin, it really is the staple of crypto. It is the biggest platform in crypto. If you buy a bunch of Bitcoins and want to become a YouTuber, and you just start sprinkling your Bitcoins on tiny community, or Satoshis, not your whole Bitcoin, but like your tiny Satoshis all over the Bitcoin community, you can get people excited and instantly boost your social credit. But again, that's why, I think Bitcoin is the head of the tech. It's the proof. So do not bet on the proof, right? You're still here. You might as well. I really don't know how you bet on Bitcoin though. Like if you're trying to put $10 a day into Bitcoin, like that's like classic world shenanigans. But you could, in my opinion, not financial advice or anything, you know what I'm saying? But like my strategy is always keep some value in it, right? Whatever is valuable to you. Like some people, they get paid like $1,000 and then they're like, okay, of this $250 is a value of like investment or some dumb shit, right? Investing is dumb, so some dumb shit. That's kind of like what I mean. Like, yeah, hold $250 worth of Bitcoin. Like, what the fuck? It just sucks because you can't yield it. That's where the crypto part comes in. That's pretty awesome. When you start to really get into crypto and you understand and get beyond the like, oh, all I do with Bitcoin is focus on the price. It's like, no, dude, this is gas. Like, this is gas. All you do is buy it and use it. If people aren't using it, go find the next best gas coin. And that's when people got hyped on ETH, because it was the gas coin and it's still the gas coin. Gas is up right now because it's the weekday. People still got vaults on Ethereum and don't expect them to go away overnight. It's going to become a CTO extravaganza, because if you're the chief tech officer at some blockchain company and you're talking with finance and they're like, yeah, man, we need to move the base chain. Like, we can't keep spending XYZ amount on fees. And that's why, again, I don't know how they're going to juggle this, because if big entities start moving in ETH world, gas is just going to go up in general, but it won't be up as much as it was in the past, where it's at like 100 gwei all the time. Maybe you get a spike to like 15 gwei for like 2 weeks, while like big entities are like moving large amounts of capital on chain or whatnot. And those will be event things. And that's why we might go through a couple seasons of this where like gas is like speculatively high on ETH. But then as we go further and further into the years of life, gas is just going to slowly come the fuck down. Like, nobody's going to be on Ethereum. Like, right now is the capitalization of whatever you want to think about with gas on ETH. And they'll probably, start to increase the Ethereum price, because it makes a lot of sense for ETH gas to go down and ETH price to go up and them to move into whatever's next. Whether that be, again, I'm just trying to predict some dumb shit, but like predicting like a Vitalik sidechain for Vitalik and his crazy ideas, and it actually becoming very popular because he's the most popular piece of the puzzle for Ethereum. So whatever he does next is where ETH is really gonna live. He wants to send it to zero, but the people are greedy. They're gonna figure out how to monetize Ethereum. You can monetize Logway. And again, that's just by putting large vaults on ETH and then moving them and bringing up classic speculation. Like, oh, you should get some crypto punks. Like, I hate that shit. Like, I hate when they start doing NFT speculation. NFTs though are a good way to push gas, as well as, you know, you have XEN still taking over the 24-hour bits of the chain, right? And we have the most gas efficient way of using Ethereum, but nobody's gonna understand this because it's not the way to make value like this. It's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, yeah, send your transaction straight to the chain, create a coin, and then make a layer 2 instead of building the whole ecosystem on top of ETH. Like, build the token in ETH as gas, use gas, burn gas, build garden away from Ethereum, build garden away from ETH, and keep it decentralized, right? That's what X1 is doing. A lot of people will follow this trend, but they won't really understand how to put it together because they're starting at zero, man. We've been doing this shit since 2022, and that's why it's I'm not surprised. I already had predicted that the top gas guzzlers were going to be Zen contracts. And I was like, yo, this is going to fuck everybody's head up. One day they're going to see it, and we might not even know which ones are which ones because some people labeled them, but some people don't. There's like some in here that are just regular people's script that they're running, because you don't need to be in a garden in Zen. You could just do it on ETH. You don't need anybody around you. Everything you do in Zen, you can do by yourself. You don't need anyone around you. And as long as Jack Levin keeps his promise, because that's why I'm like, oh, he promised X1. And the testnet is live. So the promise is kind of live. But yesterday they actually did an experiment on chain, which got TPS. Yeah, I think somebody posted on Jack's account. We're moving into some Zen talk right now. Turn up your Zen. Turn up your speakers for the Zen world. Turn up your speakers. Let me see here. He's doing a classic. I think somebody posted it under here. Yeah, right here. He's like, can we go faster than this? So yesterday, X1 chain hit 8,000 TPS during a test, and we did not go down or stutter. And what was nuts, what was crazy about the whole situation that I also thought was very fascinating was that a bunch of validators went offline. So right now you can see the total nodes is 364, but the total block producers is 347. If you've been following the X1 validator block producer total nodes kind of metric, you notice that it's been very close, but right now it's almost 20 beats off. Right? So a lot of nodes fell off block producing when they decided to kind of run this spam test, just to keep testing the network out. And what happened was the skip rate like jumped up really high, and now we have, I think at the bottom of this, a bunch of grayed out nodes. It looks like some people came back. There was a lot more grayed out nodes, so it is kind of cool to see people come back. And I see this Digital Ocean came back as well. But what happened was they wanted to run a stress test to see how many nodes online are actually going to be able to maintain mainnet level. So it was more of a wake up call for your node more than it was for X1 as like a network. So if you are running an X1 node and you're down here in the gray still, that means that your node doesn't have enough power or enough juice, right? I think most people came back though. So, I mean, you could probably come back right now because the test is over. But when the test was running, it was pretty fascinating to see, you know, again, X1 running kind of at mainnet levels and the nodes maintaining consensus and not like cramping out like Solana. And then again, reaching a new TPS on the confirmation of allowed transactions. So it's a weird thing. It's like removing all of this like bandwidth that was inside of the transaction, essentially. Think of it like that. Like there's extra functionalities that Solana's mainframe has for their things, right? Like one of those things being like voting. Like they think you need to attach voting to the transaction for some fucking reason. I don't fucking know. I'm not a tech guy in that aspect of distribution systems, so I'm kind of going with Jack is saying, because I'm seeing the results where they have bloat in their code that they don't really need, but it's business logic more than it is necessary for the process, like, or the task to be handled, right? So we removed a lot of that bloat and we kind of put it on, again, the team or the believer or the community, right? This is why you see Al at the top. She's the #1 delegator now. You know, she has the right node for everything, and when everything went down in a sense, or when everything was like freaking out, she was getting all of the transactions, keeping everything kind of afloat for the ones that weren't, and then everybody else could still free flow that didn't go down. And it's just, I guess, based on her stake and delegates and stuff. I don't know. It's interesting though, right? Because it used to be Jack was up here. Now he's down here. Because something went wrong with that little test. Not something went wrong, but things got quantum. So things changed, and it was a great identifying moment for possible future. And again, why you probably do want to make a node at home more than you want. I mean, or you want to get a really good. She's using Interserver. I heard that Katabo isn't really good. So yeah, you can kind of go over here too. If you need an ISP, or I mean, if you need like a direction when it comes to like making a validator for X1, just go to the to this validation page, right? You can get it from x1.xyz. Go down here, hit validators, then it's gonna launch this page, right? And then you can kind of scroll down right here under ISP and version, and you can see what people have going on, and you can kind of go and like Google these and see if you know, one of these has a good deal for you, or if you like it or whatnot. But yeah, it seems Interserver is kind of like being battle tested as like the best. That seems to be the one that you want to get if you're cloud serving. If you're going to do a cloud service and you're not going to build your own node, right? Build your own node means you're going to go and buy the physical hardware and put it together at your home and plug it into the wall and the internet. I could tell you right now, you could try to do that, but this is a very powerful network, and it could get you could get in trouble. Now, essentially your internet provider probably won't like how much bandwidth you're going to be driving. So just keep that in mind. If you're going to run your own node at home, you're going to be in partnership with your internet provider, and maybe moving into like a business account or doing something business oriented would help your X1 node. But that's like a whole other layer to this idea. We're not there yet, man. This thing needs to become live first. But yeah, this is how we're going to really enhance crypto. Since we have this decentralized stack of nodes, right? Because it's really about just power. Like, how much power can you bring to the network? Once you can get up to like 10 nodes, each one is just power. It's just like, yo, I can add more power to the X1. right? Once you get to 100 nodes on X1, it's just power at that particular point. You might be one of the people who discovers the next, chip shortage because you're just trying to add so much power to X1. You're like, damn, it's kind of hard to get chips. I don't know. It could be some stupid shit like that. But yeah, like, I could see this, like, again, this is where we come into the game because nobody has it like us in Zen world. No one else has an actual layer 2. Oh, I shouldn't say it like that. Like X1 is a layer 1. But like for a Zenian right now, it's like a mental layer 2. Like if you're burning on Zen Burner, right? And or burnzen.com. If you're burning on burnzen.com, like you believe X1 is real because you can see you're getting credit for X1 already. And that's why it's like, it is kind of like a layer 2 because we're all just kind of waiting for it to happen. You can go and use the test net. You can build Solana dApps on the test net right now. It's just not out because it's just not the time. And I do think, yeah, they need to keep running these speed tests still. So, they can weed out the weak hands. You don't even want the weak validators because that means they were just trying to farm X1. So this number is inflated. And I mean, that's kind of what I see too. I'm like, oh yeah, they're just trying to farm X1 because they have access to the tech. Somebody had made fun of this like digital ocean. I don't know what this is, but they were like, oh, all the digital ocean got pushed out. But it's back. So I'm curious if like, I'm kidding, like it's gonna be stupid to run nodes that don't hash blocks just to have a number on the board. But that message might not get out to a lot of people because it's international. So they might try to hit the chain with as much support or power as they can without the knowledge of knowing that their machines aren't powerful enough for X1. So they're essentially dead weight, but that's what's awesome about our system right now is really identifying good versus bad. And if there's more good nodes than bad nodes, then our system is pushing, again, essentially 8,000 TPS, bro. Like, that's insane. Like, that's crazy. Let me see here. What you saying? If you burn for Phantom Zen, will you be able to get X1 for it? Yeah, any Zen you burn, you'll be able to get X1. You're gonna have to enter a lobby though. See, I think that's where people are like kind of confused, and why I'm having so much fun on Zen right now, because people are hella confused. They just cannot wrap their head around it, and we're just like burning the shit out of. Let's see if we've gone up to 66. We're about to get 66 on the board. But yeah, everyone's super confused on. Oh, nice. So 66 trillion CBZen in the furnace. 62 million X burn has been created. All right, we burned over $31,000 worth of CBZen. That's pretty insane. To be honest, like that's actually really insane. And this is where I was talking about earlier. I was like, oh no, we ain't talking about that yet. We'll wait. But yeah, like oh, it says the X1 Val site is porn. Damn. Hey, I don't know. It's from Europe, and like Dang says, they're having blackouts. So I don't know. Hopefully they get their blackouts figured out. They got a blackout. Blackout. Can't believe they didn't have no generators. No generators. Came at the right time. But yeah, so this is what I want to say earlier. It's the alpha for the end for those who stayed. People don't understand how this X1 thing is going to work because they're not paying attention and they're not in it, like for real. Like they're not in it, unfortunately. Like they're so not in it. Like they're making validators to try to farm the drop. So we're getting farmed from every intellectual point of discovery possible. Like if someone discovers a crack, a seam, they're fucking coming in, and it's it's a good and a bad thing. The bad thing is damn, there's a lot of front runners in this reality. The good thing is someone sees value in front run, right? And I think this is now a traveling vibe. And then you could take it too, right? Like I said with Bitcoin, like you can go and buy a bunch of Bitcoin and start airdropping them to people, and they'll think you're the Bitcoin Jesus, literally. So how do you do that in Zen or in any other aspect of crypto? Because you don't have the Bitcoins to airdrop on everybody, right? I think Jack has actually hacked the whole thing. I think he's hacked the matrix, and he's figured out a way to keep his Zen hackathon like going further beyond what people believe. Like a lot of people want you to not believe in Zen because of Jack, and that's like the hack. Like Jack the hack. Like the hack is to get someone to actually say that, so someone goes, why do people keep telling me to stay away from Jack? And then they go and look into Jack, and then they're like, yeah, what the fuck? Why is this FUD just here? Like, this is some weird FUD. But again, those people who are FUDing, they actually don't, I honestly don't think they have the brain capacity, not to be mean or nothing. Like they really just don't have the experience to go forward. Like they are where they are for a reason, right? And discovery touches people, or discovery encourages different behaviors from different experience levels, right? And I think what's wrong in crypto is you need the cosign. It's like you can't do anything without the cosign. And it gets pretty deep because it goes all the way down to like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Like Ethereum wouldn't be a thing if it didn't get the cosign from Bitcoin. Doge wouldn't be a thing if it didn't get a cosign from Bitcoin. And Litecoin wouldn't even be anything if people didn't say it was a silver to Bitcoin. So the cosign from Bitcoin is strong. Ripple is only around because it still has a cosign from Bitcoin, right? And we've been able to call Solana because it had the cosign from Bitcoin a while ago. Bitcoiners were already saying, yeah, we should just put Bitcoins on Solana. That's when I really started getting bullish on Solana, like summer 2024, when I started hearing Bitcoiners say that shit, like, yeah, we got to put Bitcoin on Solana. Right? So the cosign in Bitcoin is the core. If you can get that, it's good. You don't want to cosign in Ethereum. That's lame. Like, oh, you know, my Zensu my Zensu is on Ethereum. Like, that's actually kind of lame. Right? People right now actually are more down for the Solana cosign. Like if you're saying, oh, I'm building in Solana, or I'm I'm focused on Solana, there's a lot more conversations to be had, right? That's why in Base it's kind of funny, because it's like, yo, Base is dead. Like they have the fucking Ethereum cosign. Like that's not cool. Right? X Burner is cool because it gets you into SVM from Base. Cosign. Right? So it's kind of, you see what I'm saying? Like Zen is 100% co-signed into the culture, and people just don't even know it yet because they don't understand the cosign, essentially, right? If you're dripped in Bitcoins, you know about Zen already. If you're dripped in Ethereum, you already know about Zen. And now if you're in Solana, you're starting to find out about it. You're like, oh, what is this shit? What's happening over here? And then you can find maybe some of the Zen dabs, right? You can find Emoji Dragula, you can find solXEN or ZenCat, and now like on Base Chain, as people try to find Zen, because I think this is going to be one of the most exciting auctions, right? I think the Base auction is going to be the most exciting, the most adrenaline. Everywhere else, it'll be just the whales. We're seeing that now in X Burner. It's giving us a statistic that anytime you bring a burner to an okay, how do you say it like this? Me and Tree City West, shout out Tree City West. Me and him are kind of like, we like I want to say we're like a Scottie Pippen and a Michael Jordan. He's the Michael Jordan though. I'm not Michael Jordan. I'm Scottie Pippen. I'm just standing in the paint like, yo, throw me the ball. I'm gonna do the Larry Bird hook. Uh, so he's dancing and doing all the crazy shit, and he passed me the concept, and I'm like, yeah, this is sick, and here we go. And like, this is kind of where, again, I'm like, okay, we can make Xenians have fun. I don't want to say we're gonna make you move, because it shouldn't be like that. Like, you should move on your own. You shouldn't wait for someone to encourage you to move. Like, that's, if you're feeling like you move when I move, like, yeah, yo, go and like stand somewhere by yourself for a little bit. Just get in tune with yourself, because you move when you should move. But yeah, anybody can drop a burner, but if you're not in the community, you're not gonna move the community, which means that you're not gonna see who's really gonna move. Like, people won't make a move off of you. So Zen burner is gonna come to optimism at some point. I don't know when. And when it does, I'm already kind of like, setting up my research and development on this, because I think people are so excited for burning on optimism because they have minted a lot of optimism and they've just been sitting on it, right? And they want to see the price perform. So they think that if we go, oh, X burners come into optimism, it's going to make the price skyrocket because people are going to want to come and pick up the coins. Which I'm not knocking it, because what the fuck, I want price to go up too. Like, yes, if that is what happens, if X burner is officially on optimism and it moves the optimism price because people are getting excited, like, oh, we're about to have some fun, we're going to burn, we're going to start a new journey, right? It's going to really prove to everybody that all it takes is a burner and the community to move for this narrative to change from where it's been for the last 2 to 3 years. It's already like that on CBZen, but people won't change their mindset because it's got an inflationary feature. It's gonna inflate for 8 years. So I haven't even gotten to the really bullish side of this yet. I'm still trying to just keep it, consistent with the coins before we get too bullish. But again, people think CBZen is inflating too much, so they put more attention on the OP Zen. And again, to me, that's a greedy behavior. You're not actually understanding the Zen. If you keep just telling me that OP Zen has no amp, which means it doesn't inflate, that tells me like the most upside is on the other chains, because this won't have inflation, so it's gonna get stagnant. It's gonna stagnate at the top. Wherever the top is, it'll be there for a second, and then it'll fall, and then it'll be like this, because there'll be no excitement. Like, you won't need to mint it anymore, right? So that's the catch-22 of an OP Zen. I am 100% going to be getting into this and dumping at some point, just to keep it real, rather than CBZen, where the dynamics of the 8-year scale allows for inflation, allows for bigger audiences to enter the spectrum of the universe, essentially. And I think that's better. I honestly think that is 100 times better than a small farm of 100 users passing around a basketball. Like, no, I don't think so. At least for me. That's why, again, I like CBZen for that notion. I'm not going to be selling my CBZen to move into OP Zen so I can catch a pump. I can hear the fudders now, like, because it's going to be just based on this ideology that Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan are like going to go and drop a Zen burner on OP Zen, and the community is going to follow. But anybody can do this. Like, anybody can drop a burner and the community can follow if the community wants to. That's how I'm feeling. And hopefully we've pushed people into like this understanding that, hey, this is gonna move on its own. It's not gonna be some jack tweet or post or revelation. It's gonna be the community, and we're gonna be the ones that have all the supply. I haven't even gotten into this part. Goddamn. Right? Why is it gonna be the community? Why is it gonna be the community that makes this out of this world? What OP Zen is showing me is that people are ready to use their Zen, and they're ready to burn for burn points. Now, again, there's no inflation on OP Zen, so I'm I'm in the back end of this conversation because I don't have a lot of it, right? Most of my risk is in CBZen, so I'm over there, and I'm looking at OPZen as more of a social experiment for sure, because it's like we know that most people that have the most were mentors, so you can't have the most unless you've made it, and that's why they want to burn now. They're itching. They are itching to burn because they know they have the most, and they want to claim those points now while this price is low, so they can re-up and burn again before people start to realize this shit. So this is like the alpha that I was just waiting for at the end right now. So we're seeing this right now on CBZen because this is a very tight range. I've been saying it, if you've been following the channel, the biggest resistance for CBZen is at 154K. Now, I think this is honestly whoever had the most supply before, bro, it literally took us 8 days to fuck up the chart. Right? Whatever this portal part is here, this is the kind of like, in my opinion, I'm like thinking of like we're refilling a bottle with water, and there was like a lot of water missing. The water missing was essentially like us not burning Zen. Like we needed to burn Zen and create a higher burn floor so that it could, kind of fill the water back to the top, but without new water coming in, right? New water, you can think of that as like money buying CBZen. Like what we really needed was just a bunch of people to come together and burn their Zen together, so that now it's kind of filling the gap where someone's just been selling CBZen back onto the DEX, which has been the progression: mint, sell, mint, sell, mint, sell, mint, sell. And essentially, yes, what you've been doing is making new supply to help bring in new people. That's the inflationary point of Zen. Like, yes, you mint and dump, duh, that's what the whole thing is about, because now you've helped put a inflated amount of supply on the table, and we can see here now, because of X burner, how much is actually available. And that's why I'm like, oh yeah, people don't understand yet that like all the Zens are like 100x's waiting to happen, because there's not enough for people to outburn the minters. There's only two roads here. Either you mint Zen now and you go, okay, in 2026 I'm gonna fuck them up, and you're gonna burn it all. So you're already, if you're making Zen to sell, you've already you're living a pastime experience in this game. That was 2022. I mean, now you'd probably benefit more from owning Zen and burning, or having enough Zen to burn for really good burn dApps, where the emissions coin you can flip for something else. So we'll get to that era in Zen world where we, again, people go from making like very ethical burners like Xburn. Like Xburn is the most black and white burner you're going to find. Lowest barrier of entry in the X1. You get a duct tape token that might have other things happening. Big might, lots of sparks. We keep saying like hints. So hopefully the hint is enough to get people excited. You're going to probably want to keep your Xburn. Unless you're ready to burn some more. And that's what's going to be super fun to watch, is like, you already burned all your Zen. Like, do you actually have enough to burn? Or how do you say this? Once you burn all your Zen, do you have enough burn or enough Zen to then burn again for the next hype? Because if I had a trillion Zen and I burned 500 billion, and I try to keep the other 500 billion because something epic might come out. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hold this 500 billion for that epic thing, because I want to be a whale in the burn, because it's real crypto culture. Like they over here doing farms and shit with the Zen now, and they're just burning it all up. Yeah, now again, that's why I'm like, yo, people won't be able to outburn the minters, because you'll just keep buying it, and then you're gonna drive up the price essentially from speculating. And what happens at that point is, I already know what's gonna happen essentially, is people are going to change the way that they talk about this, and they're gonna actually start talking about it as if they're getting a discount. What if save on? What it do, dog? You know, I'm not rushing home to watch the X1 validator porn. Here, I got that for you. It's live. Just kidding. Eggs. But yo, so yeah, that's like I hope I just broke the train of thought real fast so I can get people off what I'm saying. But yeah, be ready for these new narratives that are about to pop up in Zen world. I mean, if you're burning for X burner and you're hanging out over here in the Crypto Bro chat, hit the like button, you know, hit subscribe, you know, join the club, get an hourglass on your name when you want to chat, like the homies in the chat. And yeah, gear up, because I think this is going to be the next 100x, the next 1000x, next 10,000x. So whatever you're going to make it, you know, you're going to win so much, you're going to be tired of winning. I'm getting really bullish on the way I talk about it, because yeah, I'm also like the #1 Zen streamer. I hear people say some shit sometimes and I'm like, yo, they're not doing the work. They're actually talking out of their ass. And it, you know, it's fine. You can do that in Zen because it's big numbers. Like I'm saying, these are imaginary numbers, but they're about to become very small. And it's gonna happen really, really fast. And if you're here right now, you're part of this transition. Welcome. It's like when I had seen Bitcoin at $100, and then another weekend it was $1,000, and it's never been like that ever again. It's never been like that. You still buying Zen? I buy CB Zen. I like the position I have on CB Zen because I'm a whale now, and I just need to keep minting. So yeah, like I was saying, you need to keep minting because your mint is your inflation. You'll never buy as much inflation as you can mint. So if you're burning, you're essentially burning like not like right now, essentially you only have access to 19 trillion. So if you want to burn 1 trillion Zen right now for yourself, you're gonna have to come to the DEX and get it, because you're not gonna be able to make it in time. Like in time, literally in time, you'd have to come here and like do some time math, right? Maybe you do 10 days, but I've looked at this inside and out. In 10 days, you can generate not even 1 billion. So you need 1 trillion though, which is 1,000 billions or 100 billions. Or yeah, no, it's 1,000 billions. So you need 1,000 billions. And in 10 days, you can't even make 1 billion, right? So like, all right, let me add a day, or let me add, 10x that. So in 100 days, you can make 2 billion, right? So now you just need to make 1,000 of these. So it would cost you like roughly around $1,000 right now for round trip. But you got to wait, 100 days. And a lot can happen in that 100 days while you're waiting for your trillion to show up. And you're going to pay $1,000 right here. So, and oh yeah. Right now you're actually winning because 1 trillion is under $1,000. Yeah, 1 trillion is just this number times 100. So yeah, it should be $480 to give me 1 trillion. Yeah, $482 to get you $1 trillion, right? So right now, buying CB Zen for the burn is 100 times smarter than trying to spend 100 days to try to get the same amount of time. So we're here now because you're not gonna have as many points. Like imagine if X1 news came out, like he's saying it's gonna come out in 3 to 5 months, right? But he could start leaking the fucking concepts because it's done. And then they could just start saying like, all right, everyone's gonna start learning about it for the next 3 to 5 months, and then it will be live because everybody learned about it. But you're learning that you need these burn points, and the narrative has changed because now everyone is looking at CB Zen or Zen in general as the discount, right? They're over here, and that's how you should be looking at it too already. I mean, a pro user like myself, that's why I'm buying CB Zen, because I will never, in the next 100 days, I'll never mint as much as I can buy. And eventually that will flip. And that's when you stop really buying CB Zen, because the inflation is on the way and you gotta ask yourself, are people on board? Like, are they gonna burn for X1, right? And we might be in a different space in 500 days, right? A lot of CBZN is being burned right now from the previous 500-day users. So, this is such a weird limbo to be in that I'm starting to really understand it. Again, being one of the number one people to talk about this shit, this is actually on discount because you're getting burn points at a price in which they can never be minted again. Because to mint it to get back to this price is to say that those other coins are gonna like reappear, or someone's gonna inflate the G rank, which makes less coins in general for everybody. So if one person came in and hoarded everything, they'd only get like a 15 seconds of fame, where like they have the coins and then they sell them and then they redistribute to everybody, and then they get their yeah, I did that, woohoo, and then everybody gets those coins and you burn the shit out of them, and then that person's like, fuck, I should have just held them because they burned all the coins anyways. And you see, and so you could have burned those and had them under your burn point records, but you gave them back to everybody at a discounted rate than the amount of time it takes to make them, right? So this is where I'm at with the whole Zen thing. If you can't understand that, you just need to get better at some math, you know what I'm saying? Because that's all it is. You can never buy as much as you can mint. So if you're minting and dumping, you are just giving everyone a discount. It's as simple as that. So if you're bullish on X1, you want people to dump. You want people to keep dumping. The more they start to realize and wake up that they're actually dumping their gold, that's kind of when I think this whole thing is going to turn around, and we're going to see crazy upside in Zen, and a lot of X1 news will probably start dropping because it'll be too fucking funny watching everybody think that they know like what's going on here, Though everyone will be basically, how do you say it? Like I said, they'll change the narrative from it's forever down to, oh, this might go up forever because you can never mint enough to dump the price because people are burning it for X1 chain. And it actually makes sense. It's not like Titan. Oh man, that's another reason why I should never say that to myself, because then I'm gonna get all fired up. What do you think what do you think the project price will be for Zen when X1 drops? I mean, I don't know. I'm looking more at the project evaluation. So price evaluation is one thing, but I mean like the value evaluation of the project, I think will be more interesting. So I'm hoping that when X1 is going to take this out of the world. What we're really you want to see in Zen is you want to see the value keep rising, because that means that people are buying it with Ethereum and they're leaving their ETH in the pool. So I already have a reference here with Emoji Dracula. So Emoji Dracula is special. Look at this thing. It just doesn't have a lot of attention. So, people aren't interested in this meme coin, but we have some deep research here to share, and what I think will happen with Zen, because it's not like Titan. A lot of people are going to share research about Zen because they were in Titan X. And I already am going to tell you right now, like any research shared to me about Titan X and Zen burn relationship, I'm going to instantly shit on you because there's no relation. Your research is 100% off. Like you're researching about dinosaurs, basically. Like if you've been doing research in Titan X, you're like, yeah, you're basically a dinosaur researcher. So the price in Zen, again, is going to kind of reflect, in my opinion, what's happening more with Emoji Dracula. So what happened with Emoji Dracula is you're burning, or it burns itself using trading fees. And then it already had the moonshot concept where it burned itself. It used the bonding curve and it used, I think it was just like 40 of the 60% of the bonding curve to buy back and burn Emoji Dracula and lock it, right? So it has the lock liquidity with the original value, and that's like somewhere down here. right? So now it's like locking liquidity on top with burning more coins. And since this is a very quiet like idea, it's kind of away from everybody. Again, it's just Xenians that are hodling, and a few Xenians are taking profit and whatnot. And then there's some bots on it because it was in the emoji race. So I'm sure like there's still people who botted it, and you know, they got a bag because it's holding 260,000 market cap. Very great. Now, what is the relationship here? Is the burn keeping value in the pool? Because what happened is people would dump their coins back into the pool. But if the pool is burning itself and not the Solana, then it's essentially stacking the Solana and trying to rebalance itself all the time within the value of Solana, right? So now the market cap is growing because the inflation is no longer present, right? And as people dump, they put the coins back into a place where they can be burned. So now it's pretty much like I said, Dracula is ready for a crazy amount of upside. It just doesn't have influencers to push it. Like, it's just not people talking about it. So it's suffering from an awesome fucking market cap. Imagine suffering from a 260K market cap because nobody wants to talk about you. RIP. Go Dracula. Like, XenCat would be super sick if it had a burn feature. That's why XenCat has tons of trading volume, tons of everything, but it needs more people to buy it, hold it. It needs more injection of soul, and it can go up in price. But nobody's doing that. Everyone's just recycling a tiny bit, right? There's no real value in the holding the XenCat. Yeah, so it's more volatile than the emoji Dracula. But yeah, so this is my reference though with Xen. Once the X1 is officially announced and everybody starts really burning their Xen because they were waiting for that, you're gonna see all the prices start to go up because the inflation won't be hitting the inflation will not be hitting the pool. Most of the inflation it will be going directly in the X1. Like it's like, think of it as like, again, bandwidth. Like someone's gonna mint all this Xen, but they have no plans of dumping it because the minted Xen is cheaper than the bought Xen. Like they already bought the Xen. That's why they're minting the Xen now. Right, and that's kind of going to be the nature for a lot of people. They're going to need to buy Xen, start staking it, and then minting it. That's like the pro user mentality, right? The Xen mentality I was talking about before. You need to have a stake. You need to have some C ranks, and now we're adding the burn. So now you're going to need to have a burn. Because you're going to, again, if I'm burning 1.3 trillion, you know, towards X1, and I still want to capitalize on the price appreciation of people discovering Xen, then I'm going to need to have multiple different, multiple bags. And that's why, the staking bag is epic. Because if you're doing a rolling stake, right, that's just like the other strategy. So you have a large staking bag and you're rolling stakes, right? So you're getting your billion, you're putting it back in. And this goes down in a few days, actually. I think May 16th is the last day for this. Oh, I got him over here. I haven't even opened XenPub yet. What up, Tekken? Holding a nice bag. That's what it's all about. You just gotta hold a nice bag. And a nice bag, I've been saying this on the stream, is whatever feeds your dopamine. Like, I've gone in and out of stakes because I didn't have a trillion staked. Because I wasn't impressed with my yield. So I increased my amount so I can impress myself. And that's why I'm like, oh man, this 14% is about to go down and I need to add to my yield, right? 19 days. And then it's at 13%. Then we're going to be rolling that shit. But yeah, so you need to have a C rank bag. So you need a mint Xen. Then you need to have a staking bag, which essentially can give you, I called it Zencum. You need some Zencum, not some income, but some Zencum. And that's going to be your daily passive coming from staking, right? So like in a perfect world, I honestly think in a perfect world, you're yielding a billion Zen a day. And I've already done this math, this moon math with my community. Y'all already know what it is. And that's why it's like, yo, you ain't got enough Zen because you can't even get, right now you'd have to do this because right now is the only time people are going to sell. Once X1 starts to really get closer, and again, people start to understand what I'm saying right now, which is this is actually the discount because you're going to burn it and there's no way you're going to be able to buy it at these prices again. Because this is confusion. People are confused right now. They're 100% confused. And whoever has the most is the confused one. And I don't know what their game strategy is. But I know that there's some people, like there's one person in here with 66 trillion. They have as much Zen as we just burned. I saw this fool in the, where's it at? Is this it? Oh, man. Darn, I had one of these had my advanced filters on it. Oh, it's right here. I'm working in other windows. Zencum. Yeah, you need to go get you some Zencum. You know what I'm saying? It's like income, but it's income. You don't need the income. You need that Zencum. But yo, peep this shit. So like I'm whale watching on CBZen. And one of the best ways to whale watch is go and look at the withdrawals. Because again, the real whales are going to be in the staking because that's actually the alpha. The alpha is take your big ass bag and stake that shit and roll it every day. But those people with the really big bags, they weren't rolling every day. I just recently seen them starting to show up again. And I think it's because, again, this is the Zen burner effect. The Zen burner effect is going to make somebody with a big bag realize, oh, maybe my bag is actually not that big. And then if the whales that are in the pool with you to say, fuck it, we're going to burn for this thing, right? It's like a vote at that point, a governance vote. Like your Zen turns into a vote. I had posted this on X. If you follow me on X, I had said like my Zen is a vote and I vote for CBZen. What the fuck? I just be posting anything, bro. But yeah, if you become a whale in Zen, you might want to think like this because you've got the most Zen, so you control you know what I'm saying? We're a chaotic government, and that's why I like base chain because it's been inviting. Everybody's kind of been working together without everybody having to say we're working together, and it's because everybody on base, in my opinion, they understand Zen. And it has the least resistance, and it's proven that the minting formula actually is very valuable to the game, like to the crypto game. Like the whole game needs this thing. And again, being a whale on CBZen, I think is actually like, you know, it's positive, it's net positive, right? I can't be a whale on OPZen because again, you gotta mine to be a whale, and they don't have no more amp, so there's no reason for them to invite people. That's why they all want to burn right now, because they're like, yeah, we got the fucking Zen, we control all the burn points, right? And now the price is gonna skyrocket. So I'm just, I'm like, okay, I'll play the other side then. I'll help you appreciate this price because I won't be able to burn. I'll never be able to compete. But those that are able to compete on OPZen, then yeah, of course you should be trying to burn the shit out of your Zen and not lose your position, because you're gonna be the one that gets the most XNT from that network, and so on and so on. That's why CBZen I think will have the most decentralized dynamic price, where it's moving a bunch and a lot of people can come in and interact with this thing because it's gonna just be moving like a really alive. And it won't be like the other Zen coins where they just kind of do classic crypto thing where they just sit around and everybody just kind of kicks around a ball and like, I hope somebody shows up, right? It's kind of like in like P.o.P, they tried to do something Pulse Chain. I wish you guys had more dexes on Pulse Chain, so you can get peas in the fuck out of PLS. Somebody like pumped it and then they all dumped it yesterday on y'all. This is classic crypto shit. Because then you buy in and then you're giving your pulse chain to that person that just came in to like farm the community real quick. And then they have like the trading bots. So like when they were farming the community on pulse chain, man, the transactions was up to like the 4,000s. That shit was crazy. A couple of days ago. But yeah, it's like one of the reasons why like I just don't care about for the other chains. It's too many shenanigans. But yeah, when the future comes, you know, that's kind of where again the question is gonna arise. Like, why? What are you doing in that Zen? Like, are you just over there? And then the strongest ones will survive. Again, it's an outside voice echoing thing. I think people on OP Zen should provide more liquidity and open up the floor a little bit. But again, you don't have to. That's what's so crazy. You don't have to do that. You could just stay in power well position and hold all the tokens, burn them all for X1, and then never let up on the auction. Like never let up. My design thought is that when they do it, oh, where's mine here? Let's see. Remember when I made this chart? Keep burning. I'm waiting y'all to get depleted. Bro, I don't think they have enough to burn. Nobody really does have enough to burn because everyone at the top, if they've been burning while they've been mining, then they have the purchase power kind of like secret pass, because now they can just buy this cheap ass Zen and burn it. So they got like minted burn, buying burn. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm like, oh, people can't keep up. Or if you're starting at 0 and you don't even have any mints, theoretically you're already out the race. Like you should just wrap it up. Wrap it up. But again, don't be discouraged because it is the cheapest it's ever been, and if it keeps getting cheaper, then your floor opens more and more. Again, because someone doesn't know, like, or again, there's some well with some sort of agenda that they're trying to bring forth. But again, it's such a fair launch. You only get so much time to do that before it goes right back into the hands of the public. But yeah, I had made this. This is kind of like off topic now because VMPX, that shit is that shit's just gonna be burned. It's not gonna be swapped or anything. So yeah, don't even believe in that. But I just want to bring up this thing. This spinning wheel. Oops. Nah, this wheel is interesting because like you can burn from any of these networks, right? Directly into X1. And what's gonna be, and the way that I'm thinking, like the design thought on it is that the most successful way for Jack and his team to do the pricing oracle is to build one at the point of the contract. And this is why, like, again, they're not going to be able to build something that is outside of this framework, and unless they're going to surprise the shit out of me, right? But the most simplistic way, because the way that he keeps talking about it, it seems like they haven't built it yet because they got to get to it. And when they get to it, it's going to be the most simple version. They're not going to do anything extra because X1 is already extra, right? So the most simple way to do this is to kind of like, you know, like let's say like, oh, you can't even see this shit. Onomatopoeia. Damn. That's how it always goes. Damn. Damn. Is this not allowed? Am I not allowed to change the color here or what? Damn, this thing sucks. I haven't used Miro in a minute. Usually it just works. doesn't do all this extra stuff. Whatever. Yeah, let's delete that stuff. But essentially the way that I'm thinking of it is if Ethereum is considered like the most powerful node, right? They would essentially, they said it'd be 80%. Now I think 80% is a little too much in this new future. Like if ETH didn't even produce a vivid G rank, like the G rank only got up, or is right now 34 million. Like it didn't separate. I don't think it shows much interest. Like it's not even pushing like 50 million, you know? So to give it 80% kind of sounds insane, even though people have to pay more. Like, I mean, yeah, maybe they get 30% or 40%, but 80%, like that's crazy. Cause again, just because somebody spent the time to make a shit ton of base Zen to stay ahead or stay afloat of the burn, and they spent $10,000 on base chain, right? Why did they, you know, again, why are you separating? Before it kind of made sense to separate all the chains because they were kind of different, but now that all the gas is down and some of these chains saw high gas as well, right, from an abnormal amount of minting to, you know, an abstract number of mints, why just put 80% on ETH? So I'm kind of updating that a little bit in my worldview, and I'm thinking of it as like they're really gonna have to split up all these chains, and we know some of them aren't gonna be there, like Doge Chain, sorry, CoZen won't be there, sorry, OKZen won't be there. So we did eliminate 3 of them. And again, CoZen is that the thing is that their network is shutting down before XEN comes out. So I don't know what Jack and their team is going to do. They could do like a snapshot right now, I guess. But I haven't actually looked into the Eve Moss drama. Cause yeah, that's shutting down sometime this month in May. May's around the corner. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9 chains that will be flowing into X1, right? So I mean, I think that's why I'm like, I think you can divide everybody into the same pool at this point, and I think you could essentially drive participation and make sure that it's driven in a competitive manner. So if everybody wants to go to XEN, they can, and if no one wants to use Ethereum because no one cares for ETH, you don't lose credibility because you're trying to maintain Ethereum, right? I don't know Jack's angle on the ETH thing, but I could just tell you again, from as someone who talks about Zen every single day and understands how it works, Ethereum is extremely underperformed. Us saying that it's an 80% thing is just because we're trying to keep a conversation alive from the past. That's like him talking about like Pulse Chain. He doesn't want to talk bad about it because he wants to keep that bridge. Once he starts talking about how he's going to divide XNT between the blockchains, a lot of bridges are going to be burned. That's why they're maintaining that knowledge, or they're postponing that knowledge, because that knowledge could definitely, it could cap a bunch of people. You know, a lot of people don't want to hear that. You know, oh man, you burned over here, but yeah, the gas was high, but it doesn't really matter because you decided to do it. You thought you were missing out. Like you thought you had FOMO. I feel like that with all my NFTs that I had in 2021. Right now, like I FOMO'd way too much on NFTs, way too much. And now it's 2025, and that's the only thing I can say is I FOMO'd on NFTs. So like if you FOMO'd into Zen and burned a bunch of it on Ethereum, and then Jack Levin goes, okay, actually, we're going to make it so that the 10X is on Ethereum and Optimism. Now you could do this, and this would actually push the price of ETH. So this is like my little thing. You give, or here, let me break it up into a thing, because we need 100%. We're going to have 9 chains. So like, what's the fairest way? Yeah, damn. Yeah. So like everybody get 11%. Yeah, everybody get 11%. And then like maybe you give Ethereum and OP like 15%. I think that would be chill. That's 30. That's 30% of the pie will go to OP and Ethereum, and it would mind fuck everybody. But in price appreciation, you could just move in the OPs in right now because the supply is pretty relevant to each other. Like in the dexes, so you have 3 trillion, and then in Zen on ETH, you have 5 trillion. So the dexes are pretty similar to each other. They will both see an injection of capital. They both would raise epically, and then everybody else would have to fight from that thing. But then that's where it goes back down to like, all right, if everybody else is gonna get 7% of the chart, right? Like if everything else is gonna get 7% because they got a long-standing AMP, like, don't you think that should oscillate as well? Because like, why would you give 7% to Binance users when everyone's on CBZN? Why would you give 7% to Moonbeam users when everybody is on CBZN? You know, it would just be like, wow, CBZN, or it would be like, wow, sidechain really fell into common existence. And I mean, that is pretty fair. But it would be more intuitive if this Oracle tried to keep, you know, that fairness. And that's kind of how I'm thinking of this Oracle. Like, it's going to be a percentage based thing where my burn points will have the percentage on top of its auction enter. Like, it's going to know, oh, those burn points are coming from CBZen, so that has a 7% bonus compared to the tokens that are coming from OPZen or EthereumZen. Those ones have 15% bonus, right? And that's how like the smart contract would dictate your participation, the smart contract Oracle. So you don't really need to focus on where you're participating because it's probably all going to be the same. The thing is you want to know where your Zen has a chance after the X1 burn. And that's kind of why I'm bullish on CBZen. I don't see Zen having a chance on any other chain. And why, again, I think the team should think about this before they make a move. Because how you dictate that percentage is really going to move mountains. And I think it's okay to lose dead weight. Like, I think anybody not focused on Ethereum Zen, if you know what I'm saying, again, like if the Zen gets 15% of the overall burn, you cannot be that mad. Because it is the ultimate one. And if we just took 100% and broke it down by 9. That sounds like the most simple way to do it. And again, the ones that didn't make it were the ones that changed the gas or they failed to operate, which is just Dogechain, XEN, and OKX. LOL, you're trying to start a war. Man, the crying and the weeping when Jack announces the ratios is going to be epic. Yeah, no, I mean, it's going to be a full-blown... no one's going to be happy. That's why I'm like, yo, you should do the most unhappy thing, which is take 100% divided by 9. I've been thinking about this for a while, too. Because it would be kind of dumb to do the 80-20 thing. Because 20% spread amongst all these chains, that's too vague. And again, it gives Ethereum way too much power, and it's ran by the whales. Like, all the whales run ETH. So, like, it wouldn't even be fun. It'd be like, oh, yeah, fuck Zen. Like, might as well move into something else because they have this ideology that, like, the ETH whales are going to save them, right? But I think where they're burning the most Zen is where you're getting the most attention for X1. So you should probably pay attention to where your attention is coming from rather than, again, trying to invent or brute force attention where it's not necessarily driven, right? That's like P.o.P, like, yo, I shout outs to P.o.P because it's there, but it's really just not the attention. Like, people don't really care about it on that chain. Like, they want more pulse chain, so they'll move the price of P.o.P to get more pulse chain, not to get into X1. I honestly think people will burn CBZen continuously to get into X1. That's how the network feels right now. Like, it feels like we're gonna be burning for the #1 spot on CBZen, and everyone just gets the benefit because it's the mentors burning everything they have. Oh man, it's gonna be so funny, bro. Who's got the biggest balls on CBZen? Can you burn the most? Can you burn more than the core? And then, because you'll be #1, and you can snipe the auction whenever you feel like it. It's like you'll have one day, or you'll have a few days where you could just be like, fuck everybody, and just snipe it. But eventually you'll run out of points. That's why it's like, oh, you got to play your tickets right, because you know, if the auction lasts a year, your best snipe might be a year after with all of your burn points, as people are like watching, and you're just adding. I mean, you could do something like that too. Like, if one person hodled their burn points and they kind of set a bar, it would probably scare a lot of people from doing it. But yeah, that's where it's at. Either you're going to be able to set a bar where you can scare people based on the number you have, or you'll have to play the auction a bunch and make everybody chase you. And then if they're chasing you, you would need to be selling the XNT so you can buy back the Zen and burn it. And that's going to be the next rotation, is like, turn my burn points into XNT, sell the XNT, rebuy the Zen, burn the Zen, because I can buy more than what is being burned because I understand the cycles. Right. And then you're like the power player. You're like the market maker forever. But yeah, that's why, yeah, all these Zens are to be burned. The only ones that will survive will be the ones where people decide that they want to make community after the fact. And the only way to know that is if everybody's down for the native. So yeah, you can make your decisions from there. Oh, their crying will be huge. And you know what else is funny too? My whole thought on this is that, like, if I was spitting like a lie, Jack would have stopped me by now. Like, he would have not let me go this deep into the game theory if I was wrong, because this would fuck his whole game up. Literally, X1 is on the back of Zen. If Zen fails to, and maybe they haven't put too much thought into it. Let's play both sides. Maybe they haven't put thought into how much damage letting Crypto Bruh fantasize about potential outcomes. How much of an impact that was going to do to their marketing plan. Maybe they think they have enough VC wigs to replace community members. That's how they're gonna sell X1, is to the VCs. But yeah, that's kind of why, again, I think their best marketing billboard is gonna be Zen, and how they use Zen is how they bring people into X1, right? And if the flywheel is epic on a blockchain, I think, again, that's a better way for you to maintain order over the chaos of this infinity coin. But yeah, I'm not on the X1 team. I do not talk to Jack Levin about strategy of Zen. I'm just some dude on the internet that is very fascinated and talks about it every single day, and now designs applications and really just opening up the world of what this is, rather than just talking about it and reading about it. I think, again, Zen is more of a hands-on experiment than it is something you look at. And you're more likely gonna cry because that's such great attention. So if you're not on CBZen, you're probably gonna cry. You're probably gonna cry a lot. Like, if you're on any of these other chains, burn all the Zen. Like, do not try to say you're gonna make more post chain. Like, that is not the move. The move is to get the fuck out of post chain before it collapses. Imagine that, like, somebody's like holding on to their PZN because they believe in post chain, and then post chain collapses, and then now they didn't burn their P's in, and they have to like fall with the ship, right? Because they can burn it all, and then they can play the auction before it dies. Here, let's see when XENmoss is gonna XRP itself. Look at this ugly guy. Welcome Cosmo EVM. The interchain is funded. Thesis leading. Man, they haven't posted since March 18th. Well, I guess, I mean, I shouldn't. Okay, so it looks like they're going to open source. Finally, the EVM Foundation intends to distribute the IFC grant back to the community. We appreciate the contribution of all the builders, validators in the community. So it looks like they're going to open source it, which means whoever's down to run it, they can run it. I don't really know what that means for Zen, but from what it looks like, I mean, I don't think people are transacting on it. Do people buy CoZen? Oh yeah, this hasn't seen a transaction in hella long. Damn, what's yeah, man, this shit is fried. Your value is gone. They burn hella Zen too. What up, Eve W? Welcome to the end of the stream. I just fucking been vibing all day. I want to see if we can catch a 666 on this banger right here. Darn it. Come on, guys. Burn more Zen. I mean, can't even load that shit. Oh, there we go. Jeez. Damn, CoZen burned they burned damn, quite a bit of the supply. 843 trillion. God damn. Bro, they burned so much Zen through DBZen. 800 trillion. That's what you gotta like. See, this is where I'm at with it. Why the burn points don't make any sense, and why some of these or how do you say this? Why the burn point makes sense, but why it doesn't make any sense to be giving everybody the same ratios, because popularity is a thin line in this crypto shit. In my opinion, it's like you're giving people free coins because their blockchain failed. So that would be the only reason, you know, to provide charity, right? I'm gonna give you guys all of your potential points, which she could, like, cause they're all stored. So that's why I'm like, yo, it's up to Jack. Y'all gotta talk to Jack. I don't know anything about XENmoss, but they could rip or snapshot the blockchain at a specific point and say like all the burn points from this day forward won't count, but like everything from here back is what we're gonna count. So then essentially those people with those points, with those burns, they would be the ones that have majority control of that contract. And that's where it also would come up. It's like, oh, so that contract's not even going to be on XENmoss. It would be on like X1 chain. So like then essentially it would be like another thing where you would have to like probably attach an address. So it just sounds like a lot of work to try to keep it, right? It just sounds like too much work. You know, I think you just grab a snapshot of all those addresses, and then you just do a charity airdrop to the Zenians, on those chains, because there's probably not that many people. I'm not hating or nothing, but like we could probably see from the active stakes. Active stakes kind of give you a gesture of how many people are there. Damn. 250. That's not real though. Real to me is like a bunch of is consistency where it purrs, like, you know, like you see a level. And it looks like they're still staking over there. It looks just like CBZN. But 1-2 stakers. So that's actually a lot different than CBZN, actually. Sorry. The CBZN, yeah. I don't know. I haven't even looked at that, how many active stakers are on each chain. But this is proof, though, that you can burn a bunch of coins and it won't help the price if the product is cheaper than the XEN itself. Like if EVMOS was given away, basically. That's why it died. The cheap block space couldn't handle the balance of transactions. So it had more transactions than value. And then those users, and I mean, this is kind of an exposing aspect for EVMOS. I know that people ask for EVMOS to be added. So the validators wanted to do something with EVMOS. There wasn't a Polkadot XEN connection, or excuse me, a Cosmo XEN connection. So that's where this comes into play, was so that there would be XEN on Cosmos in the form of EVM. But again, I think EVMOS just had really bad business logic, and it's unfortunate for the validators that believed in them, because now they try to bring XEN there, and yeah, now it's, you know, it is what it is. Like it's dead. It is what it is. It's dead. And yeah, y'all got to just deal with your reality. It sucks. I don't really know how to help in that regard. Move the base chain. Get some valid burn points. If you can, get the hell out of there. Yeah, move the base and start over, I guess. Wait, what'd you get working? What are you cooking? I'll check my D's and the little B's. But yeah, let's look at CBZN active stakers. It's been booming more. So you see, like, that's what's like, yo, you would have these moments where like a bunch of stakes would happen. But I used to see those used to be little tiny stakes. Like somebody would take like 6 million and like stake it out. Like they wrote a script or something to like stake a bunch at one time. But you see here, like 15, 10, the stakers are alive. I wish there was more stakers. That's why, again, I think people don't know how to play this game still, because if y'all were playing the game for real, you would know that you would need a stake, because you can't, that's the only way to get inflation for the low. So you can invest now, essentially, or you could grab your position now, right? You can get your 4 trillion now. Yes, it's going to move the chart, and yes, the chart might dump, but that's just another discount on your next 4 trillion. So you got to pay the game to play the game. And that's kind of why I'm like, yo, CBZN is primed. This shit is so ready for people to start understanding, and then it's going to start reflecting in the chart, because they can't get in. Like I'm safe at 4 trillion. I'm super safe. At I have 4 trillion staked, and I get 1 billion in a day. That's like actually not that much, but you know, it is 1 billion I didn't have. So shit, fuck it. And then just roll it right back in. And that's why, again, like, I'm like, okay, I got to keep busting up or keep getting trillions to stake, because you're going to need a lot by the time we get to 2%. Right. Because the day stake is all that matters. If you could do 10-day stake, but again, you're building your 10-day stake off of a day stake. So it's kind of stupid to act like it's not like that. So like, this is 1 trillion, right? At 1 trillion, you're not even, that's why I'm like, oh, 1 trillion was like fun on CBZN, but I wasn't yielding 1 billion. So that's why I jumped up to 4 trillion, because I was like, oh, I want to do at least 1 billion. Right. So I have I can stay at a 4 trillion zone for 1, 2, 3, 4 more epochs of staking. So and that's 90. Every 90 days is the epoch of staking, right? And that's why it's coming up here on CBZen in 19 days. May 16th, it goes from 14% to 13%. So you can plan it out now, right? Just figure out what you want to do. This is XenPub. But I think you want to figure out your 2% world. Like you should, that's kind of where I'm at with it. And why I'm like, oh man, we don't have enough, because you need 25. If you get 25 trillion, if you can obtain that, you'll get 1 billion a day at 2%. So on a side chain, I think you want this. I think on a side chain, you actually want the Zen power. Like staking turns into like a power object once you figure that part out, right? So it's like, oh, I buy the Zen, I stake it, and I yield, you know, here. And I haven't done the math to see if there's a way for you to try to get to this number more efficiently besides buying it, or mining it. You'd have to mint it. Like today you can mint 25 trillion if you wanted to, for max mint it, just get 25 trillion again for the 2%, and you just stake. And when everybody else is like trying to figure out Zen and they're like, man, I really wish I had some Zen come, you're like, yo, maybe I'll start selling my billions to you guys. You know, that's why that's crazy. So if we take it down to 25 billion, right? That's why 25 billion is a solid number for the 2%. Because you're getting 1 million, but that's why that's more of Ethereum, right? 25 billion is actually obtainable on ETH. It's like, yo, everyone is sleeping. Like if everybody started to try to go to Ethereum right now and get 25 billion in, the price would just go ridiculous. It would just start flying. Like nobody's doing that. Okay, maybe so. Never mind. Well, I guess, yeah, actually I shouldn't say that. Yeah, see, once people start buying 25 or like $2,000, I guess is what 25 billion is worth right now, price is moving. And then, yeah, they have to sell that right back in order to keep price solid. So if a bunch of people started to click and say, actually, I probably need to sit on two, right? If 1,000 people came in and said, I need to sit on this, it would ridiculously show in the price. But we don't have that notion in Zen right now that you should just stake it and daily swing it, because nobody's doing that part. I mean, I'm not doing it on ETH because I'm not interested in ETH. Like, it's not, to me, it doesn't, there's no interest in the flip. Plus it looks ridiculous. Like the value, you're basically saying, like, again, if you're staking, the belief is that this will become higher in value, or that this will have some sort of value, right? 6 million. And I think that is true for burning. If you're yielding 6 million a day and you're burning that every day, like you're getting ahead of some people who are waiting and waiting and waiting to burn, right? Because then if you decide to burn your 25 billion, you'll always know, shit, I got 25 billion to burn towards X1 chain because today's the best ratio on XNT, right? So yeah, man, I'm talking a lot about burn strategy because no one's really going to be talking about it because they're all super duper scared. And I think you really want to start thinking about how you're going to burn, because you don't have enough. And by the time you get to trying to figure out like how to maintain your principal and burn like your passive income, you're probably going to end up fumbling and you're going to become a buyer. You're going to be buying your debt essentially. Whenever X1 comes out, that should be your solid number for life. You only have so much window left, man. Because, yeah, once X1 starts to really be announced, the price is going to go away. Narrative changes. This is the cheapest you're going to buy Zen and burn Zen for. Because other than that, you're going to make it. You're never going to buy it from the DEX. You're only going to make it to burn it. So, yeah. Save from yourself, maybe, Lowe's. I bulk minted high VMUs NFTs through the terminal. 4 clicks, boom, boom, out of whatever amount of NFTs and VMUs. No clicks. Just push through 5,400 VMUs on base in basically 4 clicks and watch the terminal do the rest of the work. Yeah. Oh shit, that's dope. I'm glad that you did that, man. Yes, earn it over here, about to earn it. But that's what it's about. Arnett, is that you can design your own product to be your own. You can make your own hammer in Zen, and that's what they don't want you to understand. Right? That's why everybody doesn't have enough Zen. That's why there's not enough education to go around. Right? This is 100% a solo game, and when we burn as a group, we do big damage. So make a bunch of NFTs and figure it out. Tell us how you're gonna sell them so we can exit before you. I'm just kidding, but yeah, man. None of this video is financial advice, and yo, tomorrow hopefully I have less stutter skip, less like latency on the audio. Hopefully the stream was chill and whatnot. But yeah, leave any comments if this was ass. Peace.